everybody. Welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. And we're really excited today. We have actress Ashley Newbrough here with us. She is the star of the new movie coming up on Up TV, The Love Club's Mom's Tory's Story. And Ashley, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It's so much fun to have you solo this time.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
Yeah. So this is the first time we've had you solo, so you didn't really have a chance to really introduce yourself last time, and tell us a little bit about how you got started in the world of acting.
How I got started?
Yeah.
I mean, I could talk at 9 months because my mom talks a lot.
Oh, really?
And we were very close. And I guess it started when I started watching The Wizard of Oz and became obsessed with it.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I would make my mom reenact all the scenes with me, and I would, of course, be Dorothy, I think, usually, and she would be Annie M or Scarecrow, and I would expect her to answer me in character always, depending on the character name that I called her. So that's where it started. And then luckily, she was able to navigate the rest for me. And I met with agents when I was young and then started auditioning, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
Was your mom in that world at all, or...
No.
Okay, so she just figured it out.
Yeah. She was a stay-at-home mom and just always been very supportive.
Yeah. Were you scared at all about Wizard of Oz as a kid?
No.
It didn't scare you at all?
Which is surprising. No, I wasn't scared. I loved it.
Yeah. What did you think of Wicked?
I loved Wicked.
Yeah.
Bawled my eyes at the end. It's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
It was, I mean, I was very excited for it, but musicals have had, even though I can be an apologist, they haven't been that great the last few years. And so I was like, oh, please be good, please be good. And then it was.
And then it was. They knocked it out of the park, I thought. I was just blown away. It was such a great movie to see in theaters, too.
Yes. Yeah, and I went to see it for the sing-along. I went to one of the sing-along showings.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, yeah. They did it was during Christmas season, so I had like extra time. So I went and saw it again, and it was so fun, just like belting it out.
Oh, I love that. I love that. That's so fun.
Yeah. It was really, really, really fun. So you got involved pretty young then, doing film and television.
Yeah. My first commercial, I think I was 7.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was young, but I've always loved it. I never wanted to stop playing pretend, I guess.
Yeah. Well, the first time that we saw you, and we became fans, was of course for SNOWMANCE.
SNOWMANCE.
We love SNOWMANCE. We're big fans. We did this last summer. We did the best Christmas movies that we've reviewed since we started the podcast, which was in 2017 was the first year that we did the podcast.
Oh, wow.
And I still had SNOWMANCE in my top 40 of all the Christmas movies we reviewed.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, because I love it. And we, even at the time, you probably don't know this, but at the time we were just covering Hallmark movies because this is our first year. Okay. And so we were just covering Hallmark movies, and my co-host at the time, Amber, she happened to watch SNOWMANCE, and she was like, this is an amazing movie. And so then I watched it and I loved it. And so we had a special emergency episode of the podcast just to recap SNOWMANCE, and Jesse happened to hear it. I don't even know how he heard it, because we hadn't even done that many episodes. We were really new at that time. And he heard it and he posted about it. He's like, these girls are so fun. I love them. And then he ended up coming on our show. He was probably our second or third star that we'd ever interviewed.
Really, early on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So really, SNOWMANCE does have a very special place in my heart. And
it was also my first Christmas movie as well.
Oh, was that your first Christmas movie? Yeah. I mean, it's just, I think I love about it is that I think it really leans into the rom-com. It's genuinely really funny. And a lot of these forget to be funny.
Yeah. We like the funny part. Yeah.
Were you laughing on set?
Oh yeah, we were laughing
Yeah.
the whole time. It was a blast, and we shot that in Winnipeg, so it was freezing. It was March,
Uh-huh.
and that's where Jesse Hatch. I give him so much credit because he made the choice that being a snowman, he should never be cold, and so he never really wore a jacket.
Yeah.
And he was like backflipping into the snow, and he committed, and I
Yeah.
and I commend him for that
Well, that
because
was
I
so funny.
yeah.
Like taking off his sweater and like I love what every time he calls Adam a little man.
Oh
Hey,
yeah, that
little
was
man.
so funny too. And when they started with the snowball fight and they're wrestling around, that was hilarious. The two of them were very, very funny. Adam Hertig is also a very
Yeah.
funny guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we just had him on this last Christmas season, so that was really fun to finally
Oh
get to
no
talk to
way.
him. Yeah, yeah. So
Oh.
that was a blast. But I really do love I love Snowmance. And I'm curious, did you get to see Hot Frosty this last season? Did you get to see that?
I didn't, but
Oh, you got to watch it.
Adam sent me the
Oh,
preview and I
shit.
was shocked. Even the red scarf. Have you seen it?
Yes, I've seen it and I enjoyed it. It's obviously spicier because it's Netflix versus,
Oh,
made for
right.
TV.
Yeah.
And so they have a little bit more, they have a little bit more fun with the whole, he's a snowman and he doesn't have any clothes on at the beginning and things like that. Um,
Makes
but
everything melt.
yeah, and it was enjoyable. I think it was funniest in its like first 45 minutes when it's a little more silly and then it tries to go real sentimental,
Oh, okay.
for the last part, which I didn't think was as good, but it was an enjoyable little movie for what it is. I
Watch it.
and But it's a different dynamic because you don't have that like jealousy that you have in Snowman's.
Oh,
You know
okay.
what I
That's
mean?
an important factor, I think.
Yeah, because she ends up being with the snowman as opposed to in Snowman's, it's the
Oh,
other guy, kind of a thing.
interesting.
Yeah. So it's not exactly the same,
Okay.
but yeah. It's we were actually going over there was like there's been a surprising number of movies about snowmen over the years. We can
I
make a ranking.
wonder what that's about.
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcast, especially at Christmas?
Do you enjoy the holiday previews, recaps, interviews, and bonus episodes?
If the answer is yes, please consider supporting the Hallmarkies Patreon. We need your help to do what we do both during the Christmas season and all year round.
But not only do you help a podcast led by strong, independent women by becoming a Patreon, you get to become a part of the Hallmarkies family.
Starting at only $2 a month as a patron, you will have access to our Facebook Patreon group where we talk about the movies, shows, and more all year.
We also have many monthly patron watch-alongs with guests like Lacey Chabert, Natalie Hall, Paul Campbell, Mary Lou Henner, and more, giving their behind-the-scenes details of their films.
As a patron, you also have the chance to provide input into the podcast and even join us at different tiers.
So this Christmas season, spread some cheer to the Hallmarkies Patreon and become a member today. You won't regret it.
Go to patreon.com/hallmarkies to learn more.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
I'm curious, do you have a favorite of your rom-coms?
Do I have a favorite? It's so hard to choose because I can honestly say I have so much fun
Yeah.
on every single set that I've been on. I'd have to say Love on the Right Course was a standout because we were shooting in Budapest and that was incredible. That was
really
just
fun.
very, very cool. And
Did you have to learn how to like play golf?
oh yeah. I hadn't golfed prior to that movie. But I was at the driving range every day with my dad. And I took a couple lessons and I was watching all the videos I could and taking all the tips and tricks from everyone. And that I found to be one of the more frustrating things about golf is there's so many things to consider and think about, but then at the end of the day, you're meant to think about nothing.
Yeah.
And hit the ball, but don't hit it too hard and keep your arms straight. And it's just, there's so much going on. It's crazy. It's insane.
Oh, I have like terrible hand-eye coordination, so it's a lost cause for me.
Yeah, it's a hard game for sure.
Yeah. Well, I really enjoyed Operation Nutcracker as well last year. We actually had the writer on to talk about it because I thought it was such a fun movie.
That
And
was a
again,
fun one, yeah.
it's another one that I think kind of leaned into the humor.
Yes, it did, which was great and always so much more fun. David Weaver, our director, was hilarious himself, and he was very good at that. He always kept the comedy at the forefront and allowed us to play and have fun with it. And yeah,
he's so good. We've had him on a couple times, and he's great.
A riot.
Yeah,
I love
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just liked it had a little bit of sort of a madcap energy to it of like, where's the suitcase, where's the the nutcracker, everything, what's going on, like that was fun.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I thought so too. I liked how that one turned out.
Mm-hmm. Now, how do you, when you get assigned somebody like say Christopher Russell or things, how do you develop the chemistry with that scene partner that you're gonna have?
Good question. Well, these movies shoot so fast.
Yeah.
It's kind of a sink or swim situation because you kind of just, okay, nice to meet you. And now here's a scene and you're either already in love or, it shoots all out of order. So it really just depends person to person. Sometimes you'll get like a cast dinner before and you can kind of just talk and get to know the person that you're working with, which is always helpful, I think. But yeah, there's no real method to it with these movies just because there's just not much time. So you get to know each other by way of running lines or messing up and, helping each other. Yeah, really, it's just kind of, you just kind of get into it and try to find a rhythm best you can in the time that you have.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Pilot Podcast. My name is BJ.
And my name is Me Too, and we promise this promo is worth it, so please don't skip ahead.
We're two judgy friends who put our judgmental skills to work for you. We review the pilot episodes of new and popular shows and shows that our listeners request to answer your question, should I watch this?
Look, a lot of us are spending a lot more time at home, and yes, we should be reading and trying new projects and enriching ourselves, but does anything beat binging a great show?
Let us take the guesswork out of deciding what your next show will be. Tune in to The Pilot Podcast at thepilotpodcast.com.
So now you've done the Unwrapping series last Christmas season, and then you have this Love Club Moms, and I'm curious what both experiences, did they feel kind of similar being part of sort of a series like that?
Yeah, they felt like a bit like a series because they were shot over the course of, for example, Love Club Moms was shot over 3 months, which was amazing because we got to see so much of each other and get to know each other so well. Unwrapping Christmas, those movies were shot a bit different. So we did, I think it was a week where we shot all of the crossover stuff. So we were all together for that week and then separated to do our own films. Which we loved that week that we got to be all together and I got to meet all the girls. It was so much fun and we all wished we had more time together. But the Love Club Moms, we had all the time. So that was nice because we really got to do a bunch of stuff together and really get to know each other. And yeah, that was nice.
Mm-hmm. So in this movie, your character adopts a baby. Mm-hmm. And so is this the first time you played a mom in a movie?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
first time I
interesting.
played mom. Yeah. Yeah.
What was that like for you?
It was emotional because the baby was so cute and it was overwhelming how cute he was. So the baby was played by actually a little boy. His name was Knox. And he was so cute and so animated. He steals every scene, and rightly so. Because he would like reach for different characters at different parts, or like there was this one time where he just sort of nestled into my chest and put his head down, and I felt like my knees get weak. I could have just melted to the ground and adopted him right then and there because it was just so cute. And when they come to set, everyone has to be quiet, and they can only come on set for I think 20 minutes at a time before needing a break, or it might be 15 minutes. It's a very, very short amount of time. and he wasn't a twin, so we couldn't really switch on and off. We had to just obviously stick with the one.
Yeah.
But it was so cool. I had to kind of check myself every time, because every time Knox would be on set, I would just totally zone in on him, and just, I couldn't get over how cute he was. It was very different. And so it was so much fun. Ryan Bruce, who plays Finn in the movie, was so good with him too. And I think Knox preferred Ryan to me, which made me very jealous, but but he's such a cute, adorable baby.
But in a way, I feel like that energy could kind of almost help with your character.
Yeah.
Bit, right? You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about the story of this one?
So the story is, she runs a publishing company, and she lost her mom at a young age, and she and her dad bonded through work. So she's very work focused and driven, and she is on the logical side. I don't think she's as comfortable expressing vulnerability and other emotions. So when it comes to dating, she's created this list of requirements in a partner, and she's made it very logical and all about checking off those boxes and all the different necessary criteria, totally forgetting about love and things like that. So she decides, after another failed attempt at dating, that she's going to adopt a baby on her own, and that's okay, and that's great. And then she quickly finds out that she needs to hire some help, because she doesn't want to go on maternity leave, and loves to work and also wants to be a mom. So she and her friends, the Love Club, help her interview a bunch of nannies to find the correct one. And they come across one who seems to have a knack with baby Alice. So he's hired. And then we find out that his name is Finn. And we find out that Finn isn't exactly who Tori thinks he is off the top. Mm-hmm. But he's very good with kids. And he's also very in touch with his emotions, being a writer. And so he's very much like the yin to Tori's yang, I think. Mm-hmm. And so the more they get to know each other, I think the more Tori gets to know herself and that softer side. And yeah, that's sort of where it goes.
Like, was that something, just the pull between like family and work and everything, that balance, is this something you could connect with in your character?
Oh, definitely. I think I'm always, searching for some kind of balance. And it's so easy to lean too much in one direction. And I think it's, for all my friends who have kids themselves, they all struggle with that work-life balance, especially because they have so much mom guilt. Mm-hmm. When, whether it comes to how much time they spend at work versus home, or even taking a self-care day or seeing their friends versus doing everything for their kids. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah. No, I think it does. And I mean, I think it was an interesting, because you don't usually have these movies about moms. So I thought it was kind of I'm curious. I haven't watched all the rest of them yet, but I'm curious to see the rest and see how they are kind of interweaving motherhood into these stories.
Yeah. Well, and it's great too, because Nazneen, who plays Nyla, and Janelle, who plays Harper, both of them are moms in real life. And I couldn't even count the times that either in the hair and makeup trailer or, between setups, they were on the phone to their kids, and, they're both amazing moms. And I can't imagine that would be so tough to manage both. But I think it's so important to talk about, and I think that's also why it's so important to have a good, solid group of friends to help you with that balance, so you don't burn yourself out or become overcome with that guilt. And just to have some people to ask for help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I think that it's also a nice movie about just friendship and how we can help kind of see when our friends are floundering, and kind of help them to be like, maybe you should try this. Maybe,
Yeah.
kind of a thing.
Yeah, and that's what I love about it too, is because there's a couple scenes and moments throughout the movies where the Love Club will call someone's bluff. Like they call each other out a lot when they can tell someone's maybe lying to themselves about something or scared about something, and they do a good job of pushing each other to venture outside their comfort zones and to sort of fix whatever it is that they're going through.
Yeah.
There's a lot of supportive moments throughout the movies, which I love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And did you shoot these over because there's 5 movies, right?
There's 4.
Oh, four.
Yeah.
So that over like a whole summer?
So it was August, September, and October.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. So that must have been an experience.
Oh yeah, it was great. We had so much fun together. Those girls are we're all still so close. We got along so well and we had so much fun. We really did.
Cool. That's great. Well, what would be your pitch to the Hallmarkies listening? They should check out the whole series, but particularly your movie coming up this weekend.
Well, they should check out the whole series because it's hopefully it'll have that like hanging with your girlfriends kind of feel, and you should definitely check out mine because it's kind of where it's supposed to start. You can technically watch any of them and you can watch them out of order, but mine is kind of the jumping off point. I think at the very least, I hope it reminds everyone to reach out to your friend group and don't feel bad about it because it's good for your mental health. It's good for everything. And it works wonders.
Yeah, I know. And sometimes it can feel like a little bit awkward of like, I feel like I need to check in on you, but it's like, I don't know. It can feel a little weird being like, hey, how are you doing?
Yeah. It matters. I'm guilty for it too.
Yeah. It's always worth it in the end.
Mm-hmm.
It is. So,
oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Always reach out. Always, because the power of that friend group is truly everything. It's good for the soul.
Yeah.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies merch store.
Are you looking for that perfect gift for the postable, Hardy, or Hallmarky in your life?
What about getting that t-shirt or hoodie that will help you stand out at your next holiday party?
Now is the time to check out the Hallmarkies merch store.
Full of festive designs by artists like Jessica Miller, Carrie from Hallmark Comics, and more.
You can even have more than just shirts, but totes, cell phone cases, notebooks, mugs, and more.
And it isn't just Hallmark. We have designs for Anna Green Gables, Man from Snowy River, The Nanny, and more.
Every purchase at the merch store goes to help support the podcast and allows us to make the great content you know and love.
There are frequent sales, so go to tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies or see the link in the description.
That's tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies.
Well, we like to end our interviews with some fun get to know you questions. And last time we did our basic questions. And so this time you get the holiday themed questions. So,
okay.
Yeah. So the first one is, what is your favorite holiday drink?
My favorite holiday drink. Would a chai latte count?
Sure.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah. All right. What is your favorite holiday cookie or treat?
Ooh, my mom, every year for Christmas morning, she makes this, it's called the Land of Nod, or at least in my family, that's what we call it. But it's like basically like this giant cinnamon bun, raisins and stuff, and you just like pull it apart. It's amazing. It's definitely my favorite.
That sounds really good.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your favorite Christmas song or carol?
Oof. I love Nat King Cole, his entire Christmas album. But Nat King Cole's The Christmas Song would have to be my favorite. If I had to choose one.
That's a good one. Good one. All right. What's your favorite classic Christmas movie?
It's another hard one. My favorite classic, I love Christmas Vacation and The Grinch.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't decide between the two.
Okay.
I can't pick one.
Well, speaking of that, which do you like better, Scrooge or The Grinch?
Scrooge, I love Scrooge the musical. Oh my gosh. But if I had to pick, I would pick The Grinch because Whoville, I would do anything to live in Whoville.
Good one. Good. Okay. Which do you like better, clear lights or colored?
Clear as long as they're warm.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Which would you rather do? Be in a snowball fight or build a snowman?
I'd rather build a snowman.
Oh, see, that's good. I feel like the star of Snowmance. That's a good answer
Yeah.
to say. That's good. Okay. Would you consider yourself a good gift wrapper or not?
Oh, I'm an excellent gift wrapper. I've got to say.
I forget what was your competition in the unwrapping?
So I was fastest wrap.
Oh, fastest. Okay.
Yeah, which was quite challenging, to be honest. I can do a bow, I can do a beautiful wrap where you won't see any tape, but fast, not no, not so much.
I'm trying to remember. Did you win your competition?
No.
No, that's right. I was going to say, I thought that you lost, but
Yeah.
watched so many of them. They all kind of,
Yeah,
but yeah, so you lost. So I guess it works.
sure did. I'm the only one who lost.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Last question. Do you have an ugly Christmas sweater?
Oh, I have multiple. I have at
Yeah.
least probably 6. Yeah.
Because you've worn ugly Christmas sweaters in lots of these movies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and those don't even count. Like my own personal collection is getting to be pretty impressive.
Uh-huh. Like I think in Small Town, Small Town Christmas, I think you had one in there.
Oh yeah, I would have.
Yeah, with
for sure.
Palaha. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. He probably had a couple as well.
Yeah. Well, very good. You did it. Answered all the questions.
Oh, amazing.
Yay. Well, thank you so much for coming to talk with us. This was really fun. And I look forward to everybody checking out the movie. It's Love Club Moms and Tori's Story on Up TV. So people check it out. And if people want to follow you on like social media or anything, how do they do that?
I'm on Instagram, Ashley Newbrough.
Great. We'll have that all in the description. And thanks so much.
Thanks for having me. It's good to see you.
I'd like to thank Ashley for coming on the podcast. This was so much fun to get to talk with her. Let us know what you think about all the things we talked about. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section or on Twitter. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all over social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. Check that out. Also, make sure you're following the podcast, Hallmarkies Pod, Hallmarkies Podcast, all over social media. And we have lots of coverage of the different movies that we talked about. We've got our episode on the Unwrapped movies. We have our interview with her and the other Glacier National Park stars. We have interviews with Jesse. We have our emergency Snowmance coverage. We've got our friendship episode on Snowmance. We have tons of episodes on all the things we talked about. So definitely check that out. And if you are listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews. We really, really appreciate that. And if you're watching on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that so much. We also have our Patreon group, which is the biggest way you can support everything that we are doing. We just recently had Jesse Hutch from Snowmance on as our guest for Q&A just in January. So that was really fun. You get to be part of experiences like that if you join the Patreon at any level. So please take a look. And we also have our merch store. We got lots of fun Christmas and Hallmark inspired designs over there. So take a look at that. And thanks again to Ashley. We'll talk to y'all later.